I'm like a kid in a candy shop, Michelle, and I am, because literally I've got candy floss, blueberry candy floss, rock pop Pocky sticks. This is up there with the butter honey popcorn for me. It's a full 10 out of 10. It's absolutely delicious. Honey, 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 honey. Hi, today we set ourselves a challenge of eating 24 hours in a South Korean convenience store. Now that might sound a bit strange to you, but trust me, there's a good reason behind it. Let's get going. So here we are, breakfast in E24. This is a Malaysian-owned South Korean convenience store. Now you might say, what has this got to do with Malaysia? I've said it before, Malaysians love their food from all over the world, and this is a good example of an international store that's doing very well here in Malaysia. Think of it maybe as a 7-Eleven, but a Malaysian-owned brand, full of South Korean great things to eat. We had such a good time in Korea, Michelle and I, when we were there, and we love Korean food in general. There's something really playful and fun about Korean food, isn't there? I mean, look here, you got candy floss with, what is that, a little pig? I'm not even sure. These pigs popping pastels, honey quinoa granola. But then you've got also all the Korean brands of noodles. What is common for Korean people to have for breakfast, I wonder? I seem to remember it was generally sort of rice, noodles, eggs. I think we'll start with something fairly simple. So I'm asking the young girl there what people generally have breakfast time, and she says most of them come in and they get maybe a coffee. Most people are going to come in, they're going to get coffee, which I need right now, and they're going to get maybe a pao, like a bao or a pao.
So you call your number here.
Oh, thank you. I picked up some kimbap, onigiri. And I've also ordered the Danish and one of the baos and a coffee. That'll do me for breakfast. Thank you. Thank you. I've said to you all before, I'm not a big breakfast eater, so this is going to be heavy for me so early in the morning. But I do love, is this like a little heart or a teddy bear on top of the cappuccino? And it's got some weight to it, so it's not just all foam. Right, it's half empty, mind you. But this is what I need right now. So this was about, I'll put the prices up on screen because I won't remember how much they were, but oh, it's a good, strong coffee. What I need for the morning. Oh yes. Now in South Korea, they call these gimbap. I'm used to calling them onigiri, so forgive me if occasionally I slip in there. But I love the look of this. This is a salted salmon gimbap. And I reckon most school kids would start the day with maybe one of these on the school bus going into school in the morning. Now, there's always a clever way to open them. There's a little red tab here. And, whoops, that should allow you to then pull the onigiri open. Look at that. A gimbap, or onigiri. This one is a salted salmon. I love gimbap. There's so many things about South Korean food I love. The kimchi, the gimbap, and I'm really looking forward to lunch. But let's get breakfast out of the way first. So, I keep going onigiri. I've actually got a recipe for these on my site if you want to check that out. Gimbap it is. Delicious. This has to be one of the healthiest things to eat. I know it's a lot of carbohydrates with the rice there, but oh man, it's so good. So some pink salmon in there, not overly salted if I'm honest, but nonetheless, absolutely delicious. That would do me for breakfast, just that. But we've got the bao, and we've got the cranberry, I think it was a cranberry Danish. Starting with the savoury. I've got my my bao. So this is a bulgogi filled chicken bao. I've got to remember, there's a lot of things testing me here. It's a pao, not a bao. I just take this little bit of paper off the bottom. Should I bite it or should I break it open? I think I'll try and tear it open so you can see right through the middle. Look in there. Not a lot of bulgogi, to be honest, but a lovely, soft, fluffy bao. I'm looking forward to this. It should be quite spicy. Straight away, I'm hit by the chili. Wow. Oh, that is super hot. Really delicious. The bun is a little sweet, very light. I could eat these till the cows come home. They're so light, you could eat 3 or 4 of them quite easily. That's delicious. Next, I've got my cranberry and poppy seed Danish. I mean, what's not to like? It's quite light, not a lot of weight to it, but I'm looking forward to this. As I said, the coffee is good here, so this would go really well as a combination. Now, we woke a little bit late. I'm not an early riser, so it's getting up towards sort of lunchtime already. So as soon as I finish this, I've probably got about an hour, maybe 2 maximum, before we're going to come back in here and have our lunch. Delicious. A little bit plain, not as sweet as I would have liked it, and maybe the pastry's not quite as buttery and delicate as you'd expect from a really good quality Danish. We combine this with their really good coffee. No, actually, this is, I'll be honest, this is a little bit plain. Maybe it's because I've just had that really hot and spicy bao that I can't taste the sweetness in here. Yeah, it needs to be a little stickier and a little sweeter, in my opinion. Let me know what you think. Okay, we're back to EMart24 for lunch. I just noticed there's a Minus over there and a big 7-Eleven over here as well, but I reckon this one's a lot more fun. Michelle's in there getting a table. So what have we got here? I got spiced chicken, kimchi fried rice, spiced chicken, bulgogi beef, and spiced tuna. I think I'm going to go with the spiced chicken. Have a little look here. Yeah, this looks good. Fancy an ice cream. It's been pretty warm today, even though it's overcast. What have they got? Okay, I'm going to go for one. I love these fish-shaped ice creams. We've got strawberry, green tea. Yeah, let's go for red bean. Why not? And I want to go for one of these cutbacks. I want some kimchi. I mean, you can't have Korean food without kimchi. Which of the cutbacks have kimchi? Which one has kimchi?
All the cutback have kimchi.
They all have kimchi. Okay.
Yeah.
Beef with soy garlic. I'll go and order. Thank you. Girls are so sweet. So you have to order here at the counter. Thank you. Beautiful. No, I shouldn't really, but I'm going to start with the ice cream because obviously this is going to melt. So this is samanko. This is a red bean ice cream, and you see these all over South Korea and Japan. They're not always ice cream. Sometimes they're sort of savory. Sometimes they're just, there's something about them. Tell me, what is the significance of these fish-shaped snacks? I don't even know if I had one of these. I might have had one when we were in Korea, but I can't remember. Anyway, let's tuck in. Oh, yum. I had to check then. I thought I got the strawberry, but this is so sweet, so delicious. A lot of people are a bit off-put by red bean, but when it's done well, as this is, it's really delicious. Almost a red bean jam with a vanilla ice cream. I can see Michelle wants this. I know she wants some of this. Okay, what do I go for next? Well, I've got my iced tea. I'm hoping it's going to be like a sort of slightly spiced tea terray. No, it's an unsweetened and delicious, actually, iced tea. It almost tastes like iced coffee. I can sometimes not tell the difference between iced tea and iced coffee. Now, Michelle hates tea, so what do you think, Michelle? Is that tea?
That's coffee. That's coffee.
That's coffee, right?
That's coffee.
Delicious. That was meant to be an iced tea. I'm happy. Iced coffee, iced tea. It's all good to me. Either one of them is going to help wash down this corn dog. Now I'm calling it a corn dog. They've probably got a special name for it. Now I can see it down there. It says original corn sausage. So, I don't know, is it Korean? I don't think so. Is it going to fall? A good corn dog shouldn't fall off the stick if it's been fried in the batter. No, that's good. Oh yeah. Yeah, Michelle's just reminded me, the last time I had one of these, if I've got a clip, I'll put it up, is when I had it in Korea and they doused it in sugar.
I'm not going to believe this.
Not a good combination, but this is really nice. It's quite spicy, probably the sauce. It's got like a cheese sauce and a little bit of a fishy taste to it. Whether that's the batter or whether it's meant to be, it's really delicious. Oh, that's quite hot. I think that's a chili sauce they put on there, but that's really delicious. That's a good corn dog. A little sweet, the batter is quite sweet. Oh, that's good. That's really good. So this is called a cup back. I think it's a play on sort of like a cup noodle, because I think this is a guk back, or I've probably got the name wrong. Anyway, it's a spicy rice dish with seaweed. This one's actually got bulgogi, it's got beef inside it. On top here we've got this nori seaweed, some sesame, there's some sweet corn in there down the bottom. I think this is the bulgogi beef, and there's some little sliced sausage, and underneath that, quite a lot of beef in there. Oh look, there's a stringy, almost like a mozzarella, stringy mozzarella cheese, and rice. It smells so good. This is so complex, the smells. It's rich like soy sauce. You can smell the sea in here. It's probably the nori or the seaweed. Oh. So I've got like the shredded beef, a little bit of the Frankfurter sausage there as well. I'm trying to think what this tastes like. It's really hard to describe. The rice is almost glutinous, sticky rice. It's spicy, there's loads of chili in here. And then you've got that stringy cheese. Delicious. Look at that, that's all cheesy goodness. With shredded nori and sesame. And I think a little bit, I can't see the kimchi in here. I'm not sure if they remembered to put any in, but oh man, that was good. So Korean. Excuse me, a lot of flavour. I don't know how much this is, about, I doubt 10 ringgits, maybe under $3. Great value. Michelle, this reminds me that, you know, at some point we've got to go back to South Korea. We've got to go back. The food there was such fun. We weren't there long enough, were we? The next thing, to most of us we'd call this sushi. In South Korea this is known as gimbap. Now they quite often do a much smaller, like a much thinner gimbap in a roll, which is delicious. And I've gone with the spiced chicken, and look at those lovely gimbap. This looks like it might be a little bit of pickled radish, maybe. Yeah. Oh, I think Daegon radish. Now I've got a little. I think it's a sweet soy sauce. Cool. Oh, that's delicious. And what was this? This was spiced chicken. I'm not getting a lot of spice. The chicken is nice, and the sauce I've got here is more like a sweet soy sauce. So that's our lunchtime done. We'll be back here again in a few hours. Thinking I might go for snacks. Okay, so we're going to do a little live survey here, something I've never tried before. But for tonight's evening meal, shall we go for snacks? In other words, try lots of different snacks in here, or shall I go for noodles? Now, I'll put a red button here for those of you who want to press now if you're looking on a mobile phone, and a green button if you want me to go for snacks. Push the button now, and let's decide. Okay, that's conclusive. We want to go for snacks. It's basically shaved milk with mango. Michelle, we're going to love this. And then because I can never resist it. I also got a lemon tart. Okay, I've got to get the bingsu out. The bingsu out before it melts. Effectively, that's iced milk rather than ice cream. Oh, that's delicious. So imagine the shaved ice is completely shaved milk. They actually put milk in the top of the machine, shave it down. So there's the milk shavings and that lovely sweet mango sauce. Now we're gonna have to sit and finish this before we start the rest, because there's no way Michelle and I are gonna let this turn back to milk. Now what we didn't anticipate, it's a lot busier tonight than it was in the day. The music's a lot louder. I think we're gonna get copyright strikes. So what we're gonna do is head back home and we'll finish these snacks off in the comfort and quiet of our own place. So see you there. Like that, we're back in the apartment. It was getting a bit noisy in there, so we wanted to come back where we can get a bit of peace and quiet and maybe not any copyright strikes. And I promise you we got all the snacks back without touching them, but I am dying for this coffee. So let's get this open. Let's start with a drink. So this is a Barista Rules. I love these little coffee beans here with caramel dripping over the outside. I think it's a really good symbolism of caramel coffee. I don't know why. Has that been done before? So should I give this a little shake first? Well, I've done it anyway. I'm giving it a little shake. And I think the idea is that you take your straw. Oh, yes. Oh, that is delicious. Well, that's like melted ice cream. That's so good. Let's get back to the snacks. Where are we going to start? I mean, I'm a big kid, really. Let's try the candy floss. This is candy floss, blueberry flavored candy floss. And it says here, squeeze the bottom and the candy floss comes up. So I'm guessing it'll be a good idea to actually cut the top off. Oh, hang on. So I'm struggling to understand why it said push here to keep eating when all that comes out is a sealed silver packet. Maybe it's lost in translation. It smells almost like grape bubble gum. I expected that to be a little more blue. Oh, it smells really good. That is the tiniest portion of cotton candy. I mean, look at the full size. Anyway, that just melts. That more so than cotton candy, actually. Oh, that is delicious. That is really good cotton candy. Like the fluffiest cotton candy. It's very fine, much finer than what you'd get normally at a fairground. And really delicious. Oh yeah, that is so good. Okay, I need something savoury now to offset that sweetness. And what better than wasabi crab potato chips? Crispy and light crab chips with wasabi. Oh, I can't smell wasabi in there much. And I thought they'd be a lot greener. They're actually shaped like little crabs. Now, I say like little crabs, but what do they remind you of? Okay. Oh, a little wasabi hit me, but it's very mild. You want a big handful to get any sort of like, you know when you eat wasabi and it hits you in the back of the nose? A tiny essence of crab and a tiny essence of wasabi, but nothing that overpowering. And I like my wasabi to sort of make your nose sort of sting. I'm not getting that with this, but they're really delicious. They're a little bit sweet, a little bit wasabi, and a tiny bit fishy. It's a long time since I've had honey butter. Now, the last time I had this was probably in Japan. It was Korean food that we had, but it was definitely honey butter. It's even called K-pop corn honey butter. That is buttery, and it's got that sweetness of honey. A little bit of salt on there as well, I think. The way I would eat these, straight out of the bag. I won't do it now, but when you've gone, that's the way they're going in. If I was scoring, and I'm not scoring because this is part of a 24-hour project, this would be really high on my list of delights. And what's not to like about popping candy, Pocky sticks? They're not Pocky, I don't think these are Pocky brand, but these are a chocolate biscuit pocky stick with popping candy on it. Couldn't resist it. Okay, so they're individually packed. So these are huge sticks of pocky sticks. How many have we got in the... Oh, disappointing. There's only 3. That's 2 for me, 1 for Michelle. That's not fair, is it? Oh, look at that. Thick, chocolatey pocky stick. I'm waiting for the pop. Oh, tiny pop. That is the least popping candy I've ever had. Just occasionally, a little pop. But I thought I'd hold the microphone to my mouth and you'd be able to hear the characteristic popping candy. But no, it's delicious. A bit disappointing there are only 3 in a box. I can't remember how much these were. I think they were 5 or 6 ringgits or something for a box, but a little disappointing in the number, but delicious nonetheless. But popping candy? I don't think so. Now, a lot of people wouldn't have chose this, I'm sure, but this appealed to me. It's like the ikambilis, the little dried anchovies with almonds. And it's only a very small packet. There's not many in here. Oh, that's got that real characteristic fishy smell. But tell me in the comments, would you have chosen this? Well, you look at that. Where would you see shards of almonds with tiny little fish staring back at you? To me, this is one of the wackiest combinations. You know, toasted almonds and dried fish. Let's give this a go. That's really weird. They're not really like the ikambilis. They're a lot fishier, almost shrimpy in flavour. But I like it. I mean, this is a really weird combination. A lot of people would not like this at all. It's a Marmite sort of thing. You either love it or you hate it, but that is a delicious snack, and that puts me in mind of a snack that I could make for myself. Would be the ikambilis and dried peanuts just mixed together in a bag, and you could snack on that. That would be like a beer nut, really good with a wine or a good dark beer. This is up there with the butter honey popcorn for me. It's a full 10 out of 10. It's absolutely delicious. It's a shame there's barely any in here. It's a tiny portion, but it's got my mind sort of buzzing with ideas for snacks. Delicious. Now, I'll save this till last for good reason. I love lemon and meringue pie. I love anything with lemon in it, but take a look at this one. It's such a pretty little pie or tart. I've got that sticky meringue on my fingers. That is a picture. Soft and fluffy sweet meringue with what I'm hoping is going to be a really tart lemon filling in the centre. Let's cut this thing through the centre and see what the pastry's like. Well, it's looking good. So we've got the meringue, we've got the lemon, a little bit of creme anglaise or custard in the bottom. I know what I'm expecting, but in a way I'm not expecting it, because you rarely get outside when you're not making it yourself a really good tart lemon. So this might be okay. I'm expecting it to be okay, but it looks delicious. Oh, it's sour. It's perfect. It's better than okay. It's delicious. It's a proper lemon tart. It's a tart that should bite back. And if it doesn't bite back, it's not doing what it should. The lemon in here is lovely and it's biting back. So that's perfect. I'm not at all disappointed. If I get in a pastry shop and there's a lemon tart of any description, I'm going to buy it. The pastry, a little bit biscuity. I'd like something a bit lighter. The meringue on top, a little bit soft towards an Italian meringue, but the lemon is perfect and that brings everything together. I hope you've enjoyed this. 24 hours eating in a Korean convenience store here in Malaysia. And as I said at the beginning of this, I know it's not necessarily a very Malaysian thing. Whoops, oh, I lost a bit of the lemon. It's not particularly a Malaysian thing, but here in Malaysia, they embrace food from all over the world. So I highly recommend, if you have a chance, to go to the EMart24. It's a bit of a mouthful, a terrible name for a store, but EMart24. And 24, as I say, in Korean, I think it's, I've got to say, ya, sam, say, so say, but it's not, it's sa. So I think it's sa, it means neighbor, so, or hello neighbor. So something like that. Tell me down in the comments if I got it completely wrong. In the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this 24 hours eating in a Korean convenience store. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like us to do similar to this. It was a lot of fun, so I'd be quite happy to do it again. Be good. And from Michelle, who's patiently been with me as a camera girl all day long, and I've saved her all sorts of treats so she can sit down and enjoy it. She's also had the breakfast with me and the lunch. Loved you all, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.